Does anyone know today's which festival?
元宵节
Yes. So what's the English for that?
Lantern Festival.
Yes. Do you know what's the average score for this test, for this mock test?
No.
Can you guess it?
60%.
Wow, it's really close. It's really close.
65?
Yeah.
67.
Yeah. Basically, it's 66. That's the average score. Guys, we'll start in 2 minutes.
Hi.
Hello. What do you think is this hot paper for you?
Not really.
Not really. So which one do you think is the most hard question?
It was okay.
I don't know, actually. All of them work better. It's not hard.
Last two, the last two questions? Yeah, last few. Let's wait for other students for maybe 1 or 2 minutes, and then we'll get started. Because how do you find the questions of JMC? Is that hard than 11 plus or just the
It was
same?
okay.
It's
I have a
harder.
question.
It's
Is that
still kind of
for
easy,
6
but it's
years?
harder. Harder, but it's not hard.
No hard.
Bruh.
Okay, guys, I think it's time to get started. So you can mute yourself. Everyone. Just check you got muted. All right.
Who's singing?
I think it's Harry.
Oh,
Someone's not muted, guys. You need to get yourself muted.
Harry, mute yourself.
Okay, guys, let's get started. And we're gonna go through the questions one by one. Let's get started from the first question. This question is from 20 years ago. And which of the following could be the image of UKMT when seen reflected in a mirror? So basically for this question, you're gonna do 4 different reflections of that, right? Because we don't know where is the line of the symmetry. So let's see, the first one, UKMT, if the line symmetry is just under this forwards, you're gonna look like what? Okay, So U will look like N, and K is the same. M will look like W, and T will be like this, right? Do we have that option? Do we have that one? Guys, do we have this one out of that five options? Yes. So that'll be A, right? It's exactly the same as what do we get? And also you could do U, K, M, T. Let's see if the line of symmetry is at this place. The T will be look like the same, and M will look like this, and K is gonna like this, and also U will be the same. And you don't have that T, this kind of you don't have that, right? Okay, and then if you have UKMT, and this time you're going to put the line of symmetry on the left. So you'll get U, right, and K, and M, and T. And also you don't have such kind of a shape. Okay, so last one. What if we got a line of symmetry just on the UKMT? Okay. Okay, last one. If you do UKMT, if the line of symmetry is upon this UKMT, that will be the same when you get it under it. So that's why you choose A. A will be the only choice that we have. Okay. And the correct rate for this one is just 56%. Okay, second question. What is the value of X? Guess to solve this one, the easiest way to do that is that you need to know the exterior angle theorem. So it's like if you got a triangle ABC, okay, and you extend one of the side, let's say this one, you extend AB, right? So this 50 will be the exterior angle. And in the exterior angle theorem, it says this exterior angle equals to the sum of another opposite angles, opposite interior angles. So that means 22 plus X equals to 50. Then to get X, so 22 plus X equals to 50, and that means X is 50, take away 22. So X equals to 28, and that's why we choose B. But do we know how to prove that? Why is that correct? So basically, you can label this angle as alpha or beta. So let's use alpha. And we'll see that in that triangle ABC, all that three angles add up to 180 degrees, right? So 22 plus X plus this alpha equals to 180 degrees, right? And also, if you take a look at this angle over here, it's a straight angle. So that means 50 plus alpha is also 180 degrees, right? If you compare that two expressions, you will find that this part, 22 plus X over here, equals to 50. Because when they add alpha, both of them equals to 180. So they equals to each other. And that's why we got this equation over here. All right. Make sense? So as for this one, it's 96% correct. So most of you got this one good. And guys, I think for this question, you all see this one in the 11+ exam for a lot of times. The shape on the right is made up of 3 rectangles, each measuring 3 centimeters by 1 centimeter. What is the perimeter of the shape? Okay, guys, for this question, we need to use the translation method. So basically, you need to convert this kind of irregular shape into a regular one by translate some of the side, right? So for this side, you can move that left. You can push that left to this place. And also, as for this vertical side, you could push that right at this place. Right? If you push that, you can give it that a cross, means we have already moved that to another place. We don't need to count it again. And then for this pink one, let's see, for this horizontal side, you can move that up and give it a cross, so that will go to this place. All right. And then so for this side over here, you could also do the same thing. You can push that up to this place. All right. Okay, guys. Now you're going to convert this irregular shape into a regular one, and that is just a rectangle, right? And I think all of you know how to get the perimeter of a rectangle. So this is 3, this is 3, and this is 1, right? This is 1, this is, okay. So we got half of this perimeter, that is 1 plus 1 plus 3 plus 3. That gives us 8, right? That gives us 8. So the perimeter of a rectangle then equals to the length plus the width, and then you double that. That will be the perimeter. So that will be, say, length is 6 plus 2, and then times that by 2. You got 8 times by 2, that is 16 centimeters. So that's why we choose A. All right, that's it for this one. And then this question, I think I don't need to mention that too much. You all take the 11+ exam in the nonverbal reasoning. I think all of you know, all of you remember that different kinds of nets of a cube. So for this one, the correct rate is 60%, right? And for the first shape, of course, you can fold it to make a cube, right? And that type is 132 or 231 type, 231 type, right? So 231 type. And also this one, that is 231 type as well, 231 type. 2 means this 2, 3 means this 3, and 1. For this one, you can move that a little bit steps, right? So you can move that to this place, and that's how you get the second one. Okay. And third one is the type of 3-3, and then the fourth one is also 231, right? 231 type, and last one is what we know called 222. That type. So all of them will be the nets of a cube. So you choose 5 because you got 5 different nets here. All right. Okay, next one. What is the sum of the marked angles in the diagram? Okay, guys, for this one, I think it's a trick question. And basically, you just need to add 2 sum of all the interior angles of 2 triangles, right? And the correct rate of this one is 84%. So it's quite good. And the thing is that this angle over here, this right one, and this right one, this right one, these 3 angles add up to 180 degrees, right? It's the sum of interior angles of triangle. So for the another 3 angles, you will see it's the interior angle of another triangle. So it's also 180 degrees. And then you get the answer, which is 360 degrees, right? So you choose E. It's pretty easy. And then the second one, let's take a look at this one. So in this triangle, this one is 50% correct. So half of you did this one correct. And in the triangle PQR, okay, the angle QPR is 40 degrees. So let me write down the measure here is 40. And the internal bisectors of the angles at Q and R meet at S. So what does that mean? That means this QS bisect angle PQR. So that means these 2 angles equals to each other. You can use alpha and alpha to represent it. And also, you know that SR will bisect angle PRQ. So you can use another letter. So let's use R, beta and beta. So you got two beta because they equals to each other, right? That's what we have. Question, what is the size of angle QSR? So what is this X over here? Let's call this one X. So guys, you see that this X is in which triangle? It's in SQR, right? So if we know the sum of alpha and beta, then we use 180 to take away that two angles. We got X. And so let's see what do we have. If we take a look at the largest triangle, that will PQR. So 40 plus 2 alpha plus 2 beta equals to 180 degrees, right? So what is alpha plus beta, guys? Can we know that? So you use 180 take away 40 first. Then you got 2 alpha plus 2 beta equals to 140. Then you divide by 2 from both sides. So that will be alpha, 1 alpha plus 1 beta equals to 70 degrees. Okay? Now you will get X, because in triangle RQS, let's see, in triangle RQS, we know that 3 interior angle add up to 180. So X then equals to 180, take away alpha and take away beta. So basically you take away the sum of these two angles. And that equals to 180. Yes, Florent? You got a question here? Or can you type your question in the chat box? Then 180 minus 70, you got 110 degrees. That is X. So you choose A. Guys, are we all good? Is that all clear for you? Yep. Okay. All right. And then this one. Guys, for this kind of question, you need to figure out, we got some really, special shapes. You got the square and you got equilateral triangles. And we know that any interior angle of a square equals to 90, right? So this angle over here will be 90 degrees. And also for this two equilateral triangle, every interior angle equals to 60 degrees. So this is 60 and also this is 60, okay? And the question is, what is the size of angle QPU? So what is this one over here? So guys, can you tell me what's the shape of this triangle QPU? Is that an isosceles triangle? Is that isosceles triangle? Yes or no? Of course it is. Because you see that PU, this side, equals to UT, right? And UT equals to UR because it's a square. And then UR equals to QU. So you will see that in this triangle QPU, it is an isosceles triangle. So if in an isosceles triangle, the base will be the same, X and X, right? To get the base angle, you need to use the 180, take away the top angle and then divide by 2. So what's the top angle, guys? The top angle then equals to, so angle PUQ equals to 360, this full turn. Take away 60 degrees, take away 60 degrees, and then take away 90 degrees. Okay, guys, type the answer to me. What's that angle? What's the measure of this angle? 360 minus 6 minus 6 minus 90. 150. Yes, you are right. 150 degrees. So this angle over here will be 150. So to get a base angle QPU, you need to use 180, take away the top angle, right? And then divide that by 2. So you got 30 divided by 2, that will be 15 degrees. That's why we choose B. Okay, next one. As for this one, you still got some, really special shapes here. You got two squares. So this one will be 90, this one will be 90. So 90 degrees, 90 degrees. Okay. And also, because this it says equal squares, that means these two sides equals to each other. And if we see this is A, B, C, this is B, this is C, and this is A, how about that? So triangle ABC will be an isosceles triangle as well. And then, the base angle, another base angle will be the same, 70 degrees. So what's the correct rate for this one? It's 94% correct. And then the top angle over here will be 180, take away 70, right? So this top angle equals to 40 degrees. Now, guys, you have last step to do. It will be 360, take away 90 degrees, take away 90 degrees, and then take away 40 degrees. And that's the answer. So you got 140 degrees. That's the answer. So you choose A. That's right. All right, guys, for this one, what is value of X? As for this question, we got two different ways to solve that. So basically, as for such kind of a shape, we got a conclusion that is X equals to the sum of these three angles. Let me show you why is that. You can connect these two angles, because that way we're going to have two triangles over here, right? So you can see that is A, B, C, and D. And we can label this one by alpha and label this angle by beta. Okay, guys, if you take a look at a triangle ABC, let's see, triangle ABC, and we can get the sum of all the three interior angles. That will be 35 plus 15 plus alpha plus 25 plus beta equals to 180 degrees. So far, so good. You can tap 1 if you understand this equation. That's just the sum of all the interior angles of triangle ABC. All right. Okay, guys. Now let's see what we have. So in triangle BDC, this time we're going to focus on triangle BDC. We know that in BDC, the three interior angles add up to 180 as well, right? So that means alpha plus beta plus X is also 180 degrees. So far, so good. Yep. Is that 180? Yep. Okay, now, guys, we need to compare these two expressions. So as for the first one, on the right-hand side, they equals to each other. And on the left-hand side, you got alpha and I got alpha. Right? This is alpha, this is alpha, this is beta, this is beta. What does that mean, guys? So X will be the sum of these three angles. Does it make sense? Is that all clear? You will cancel out alpha and beta. Yes, that's right. So it means X here then equals to 35 plus 15 plus 25. And that equals to 75 degrees. Okay, guys, I just try to make up new question for you, and you can answer this one directly. Okay, so let's see. This one is say 60 degrees, and I tell you this one is 170 degrees. And this angle over here, let's say it is how many degrees? I just made up. How about 40 degrees, guys? This one is 40 degrees. Question: what's the measure of this angle over here? Yes, guys, you're so clever. So basically using that formula, you'll see that 170 equals to the sum of 60, 40, and the angle that we want, right? So this angle equals to 170, take away 60 and take away 40. So you got 70 degrees, that's it. Make sense? Okay. And also we got another way to prove this conclusion, guys. If you extend this line, let's say this is A, B, C, and if I extend this line, this side, I got a D. How can I prove this, guys? If you focus on triangle ABD, so in triangle ABD, we can use that exterior angle theorem. I'm going to call BDC as alpha. So guys, can anyone tell me alpha equals to what? This is exterior angle. This angle equals to the sum of another opposite interior angle. Is that the sum of 35 and 15? That will be another opposite interior angle of this exterior angle alpha, right? So you got 35 plus 15 degrees. So far, so good? Yep. Now you're gonna use that exterior angle theorem again. This time we're gonna focus on triangle. Let's give a letter here. Let's call that E. So in triangle CDE, X will be the exterior angle of that triangle CDE, right? So X then equals to alpha plus 25 degrees. Am I right? Does it make sense? X will be the exterior angle, and alpha and 25 will be the interior angle of triangle CDE. Guys, if you understand this, if you are with me, you can type 1 to me. Yep. Very good. And then you can do the replacement, guys. Alpha equals to 35 plus 15. Then we get X equals to 35 plus 15 plus 25, right? That is 75 degrees. Anyone got a question here? Any questions? Nope. Okay, let's continue. Okay, guys, for this one, I think all of you did this one correct, because in the parallel lines, and you got the line just intersect. Just cross it. So we know this angle over here equals to 134 degrees, right? So that'll be 134. And then you got this complementary angles. So as for these two angles, that'll be 180 take away 134. Guess what's that angle if you do 180 take away 134? That will be 46 degrees, right? Using the same method. This another angle equals to 180 take away 132, right? So you got 48 degrees, right? Then to get X, you just use the sum of all the interior angles to take away that 46 and then take away 48 degrees. Guys, what do you get? What do you get? What is X? We are on question number 11 of that mock test. Yes, the answer will be 86 degrees, so we choose C. All right, guys, that's it. Let's move on to question number 12. In the diagram showing PT equals to QT equals to RQR. So that means you got a lot of isosceles triangles. That means the base angles are all the same. Also, RT equals to RS. It's already marked for you. And we know that the angle of PTQ equals to 36. What is angle PTS. We need to find where is PTS. Okay, this angle is PTS. Let's mark that for you. This one, PTS. Okay, guys, since you got 36, what's the angle of these two base angles, guys? 180 minus 36 divided by 2. Each one equals to 72, right? That's right. Each one is 72. And if you get the angle of this one, you can use 180 to take away 72 and then take away this angle over here to solve the question. And now you will see that this one is 72, right? And that is the exterior angle of triangle QTR. Yep, it's QTR, the exterior angle. So you will see that, and also QTR is an isosceles triangle. So it means these two angles equals to each other, and they add up to 72. So each of them will be 36 and 36. Does it make sense? Are we good? So far, so good. All right, guys, and then you need to take a look at that triangle TRS. So in triangle TRS, you can also use that exterior angle theorem. So this, you can call that alpha, and also this angle we want will be alpha. If you use the exterior angle, alpha plus alpha equals to 36. Then each alpha will be 36 divided by 2. You got 18 degrees. Does it make sense, guys? Then to get this angle PTS, you just use 36 plus 36 and plus 18 degrees. So you got 90. So this this angle PTS is just the right angle. That's why we choose C. All right, so next one. Next question is from 2009. Question number 19. The diagram on the right shows a rhombus FGHI and an isosceles triangle FGJ, in which GF equals to GJ. So let me mark these two sides equals to each other. If you got two sides equals to each other, that means this angle and this angle equals to each other because they are both base angles. So as for FJG, that will be 180, take away 111. So 80 minus 11, we got what number, guys? 69. And this is 69 as well. And the question is, what is the size of angle JFI? JFI. So what is this angle over here? How do we get it? How do we get it? So because this is an isosceles triangle, right? So do we know the measure of this top angle? Yes, that's right. 180, take away 69, take away 69. You got 42, right? You got 42. And then, because it's a rhombus, that means this angle is what degree? This angle over here. Of course, rhombus all the sides are equal. Is that 42 as well, guys? Yep, it's also 42. Then how can you get this angle IFJ? You could have two different ways to get it, right? You could use 180, take away 111 and then take away 42 to get it. Or if you are familiar with what we just talked about, this exterior angle theorem, you could use that 69, take away 42 to get the answer, right? You see that 69 is the exterior angle that equals to this angle over here plus 42. So to get this angle JFI, you could use 69, take away 42. And it got 27 degrees. So we choose A. And the correct rate for this one is 50%. Okay, next question. Question number 14. The correct rate is 54%. Given that AB equals to AC, okay, we know that's also isosceles triangle, and Z is less than 90 degrees. Which of the following expression must equal Z? So, because triangle ABC is isosceles triangle, so we know that two base angles equals to each other, then angle B equals to angle C, right? So that will be Y. I think it's pretty easy. Right? It's pretty easy. So if you use that exterior angle theorem, then you know that Z plus Y equals to X. And what is Z? So Z equals to X minus Y. And you choose A. Okay, guys, is that clear enough? For this one? Yep. Okay, next question. Question number 15. This is about area. The diagram shows two arrows drawn on separate 4x4 grids. One arrow points north and another one points west. When the two arrows are drawn on the same grid, what is the area of overlap? So guys, I just draw that here for you. Then you will see that's very clear. Here, and go down by 1, and go right, go down by 2, and then left by 2, and then go down by 1, and then you connect that 2. Okay. Now you just count it. You just count this overlap part. So you will get the answer. So this is a half, this is a half. So that to give us 1. And also there, you got 4 complete squares, so that'll be 4, right? And this one add up to 1. And also this 2 half add up to 1. So the answer will be 4 plus 2. We got 6. Then we choose E. Okay, David said, will you go back one slide? Okay, I will go back one slide. You can take the screenshot. But David, I will send you the notes. I will send you all of the notes after the session. So don't worry. Okay. Are we all good about this question? I think it's very easy. And how about this one? How about this one? One cube hath each of its faces covered by one face of an identical cube, making a solid as shown. The volume of solid is 875 cubic centimeters. So what is in square centimeters is the surface area of the solid. To get the surface area, we need to get the side length of it, right? And it says one cube has each of face covered by one face. So that means we're going to have 6 plus 1, right? 6 plus 1 cubes here. So can anyone tell me how can we get the volume of each cube? We have 7 cubes in total. Guys, you can type what you have in the chat box, so I will know it. 875 divided by 7. Yes. So what do you have? If you divide by 7, what's the volume of each one? 125. That's right. That's the volume of each cube. And so which number you cube it, you got 125. The side length is 5, right? So the side length, side equals to 5 centimeters. Okay, since we know that, what is the area of each face or each square? And then you just count how many faces do you have, right? So that will be 5 times 5. You got 25 square centimeters. That's it. And now we need to figure out how many faces do we have. So the way that we use it is called 3 views. Because if you take a look from the front, that will be the same when you take a look from the back, right? So you just count the front. What is the front you got? You will take, you will see this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. You will see 5 of that squares, right? That's the front face. So you have 5 of the front, and then times that by 25. And you times that by 2. The reason why times that by 2 is that if you take a look from the back, that will be the same. And then we need to add the right and left view. So if you take a look from right, so you're gonna see this one, this one, this one, this one, and this square. So you got 5 squares as well, and then times by 25, and then times by 2. And then after that, you're gonna take a look from the top. The top view, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as well, right? So that'll be 5 times 25 and times by 2. Guys, add them all together. What do you get? What's the answer? Basically, that will be 250 times by 3. So the answer will be 750 square centimeters. Yep. And the correct rate for this one is 67%. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 17. 4 rectangular paper strips, each measuring 10 centimeters by 1 centimeter, are laid flat on the table. Each strip is right angled to 2 of the other strips as shown. What is the area of the table covered by the strip? Okay, guys. For this one, you need to be really careful because you got this overlap part. You cannot count it by 2 times, right? And you have 4 of that. 1, 2, 3, and 4. You have 4 overlap parts. Means if you get the area of each strip and add them all together, and you have to take away these 4 overlap parts together area that are covered, right? So we know this is 1 centimeter and the length of each strip will be 10. So let's try to get the length, the area of this 4 strip first. So you do 1 times by 10, right? That's how we get the area of a rectangle. And you got 4 of that. So you times by 4. But you have to take away the overlap part. You just double count it. So overlap part, you got 4 of that, and each one will be 1 times by 1, because each one is a square. And that gives you correct answer. You do 40, take away 4, and the answer will be 36 square centimeters. So we choose D. All right, that's it. This one was quite easy. Yes, this is quite easy. And how about this question? So the correct rate for the previous question is 80%, but for this one, it's only 26%. It's pretty low. This one over here. This is question number 18. It's only 26%. The diagram shows 4 congruent rectangles. What does this word mean? That means completely same. Okay. If you put them together, they'll be exactly the same in measures. Each of perimeter is 20 centimeters, surrounding a square of area 44 square centimeters. What is the area of each rectangle? Okay, guys, I think The reason why I did this not that good is because you see that 44 is not a square number, so you don't know the length of this part, right? It's a square root 44, but you don't know what's that number. But actually, guys, you don't need to know that, because you can set the length and width of each congruent rectangles. Let's say I'm gonna set the length of the rectangle as L, then the width will be W. All right, so you got L, W, L, W, L, and W. All right. And let's see, what do we have over here? Can anyone tell me what is L plus W equals to what? Because you know the perimeter of each rectangle, right? So what is L plus W? That is just half of the perimeter, right? So you got 10. You got 10, right? Okay, guys, as for this large shape, this whole shape, we all know that is a square, right? It's a square. And then what's the perimeter? What's the perimeter? If you count it, you see that you got 4 of L plus 4 times the width, right? Okay, guys, tell me, what's the perimeter of this large square? The perimeter of the large square equals to 4L plus 4W, right? So that will be 40, guys. It can be 40. And that's the perimeter. So can anyone tell me what is the set length of that large square? You use 40 divided by what? Divided by 4, right? So you got a 10. What does that mean? That means this part, the set length of this part will be 10. Or you could just do W plus L and you got 10 directly, right? You get 10 directly. So what's the area of the large square? That equals to 10 times by 10. We got 100 square centimeters. Okay, that means if you use that 100, take away 44, that will be the sum of these 4 rectangles if you add the area together, right? So what's the area of each one? It asks you what's the area of each rectangle, right? So you use 100, take away that 44, and then divide it by 2. Divided by 4, because you got 4 of that. So you got 56 divided by 4, that equals to 14 squared centimeters. Then we choose A. Yup. That's the answer. Question number 19. What was the percentage? This one is 60%. It's much better than the previous one. Also, you got 5 identical rectangles. So identical is the same as congruent. Okay, the same meaning. Fit together as shown, what in centimeters squared is the total area of the cover. So you got 15, right? You can set the length and width as AB this time. You can choose which letter you like. So AB, right? And this will be A as well. And here you have to focus on this side over here, and that tells you the relationship of A and B. So that could be either represented by 3 times A, right? 3 times A, or you can represent by 2 times B. In other words, 3A equals to 2B. That's what we have over here. And then another thing that we have will be B plus A equals to 15. Guys, just solve that simultaneous equation. You find what is AB, right? But how can we solve this, guys? How can we solve this? You got 2b and 3a over here. And let's see, this equation 1 is equation 2. If you want to get a 2b and do the replacement, you can just double the second equation. So second equation times by 2. We got 2b plus 2a equals to 30. And then you can replace this 2b by 3a, because 2b equals to 3a, right? So that will be 3a plus 2a is 30. Then 1a equals to 30 divided by 5, you got 6. Then you know that a equals to 6, and then b equals to 15, take away 6, you got 9. Right? Question, what is the total area covered by these 5 identical rectangles? You just get the area of each one times that by 5. That'll be the answer. So 9 times by 6 is the area of each rectangle, and then you times that by 5. Guys, tell me what's the answer. Answer equals 270, right? So we choose A. Okay, guys, next question will be a little bit harder because the correct rate is only, say, 36%. But this question is also about isosceles triangle. You see, in the diagram shown, PQ equals to PR and equals to QS. So let me mark that 3 equal sign. PQ is this one, and PR is this one. So that means this angle R equals to angle PQR. So these two angles equals to each other. Okay. These two right angle, because they are both base angles. And then they also equals to QS. So this is QS, right? And then you will see that this QP and QS is two sides of triangle QPS. So that means this angle S, this is the base angle, right? Equals to this base angle. Does it make sense, guys? You can tap 2 if you understand it. If so far, so good. Yep. Everything good? All right, then let's continue. Let's continue. In this one, we only get a right angle. There's no other informations. The question asks you, what is the sum of PRQ? So let me try to find that angle. Where is PRQ? So this one is PRQ, right? This pink one. And PSQ, so this is PSQ. You need to get the sum of these two. Because for such kind of question, the way that I suggest you to do is that you just using one letter to represent the smallest angle. It's the smallest angle, right? And then to use that angle represent all the others. It's like a butterfly method. Actually, for this one, I don't think you can use that. Okay. So you can set this one as alpha. So guys, can anyone tell me how can I use alpha to represent this angle PSQ? You got a right angle over here. How can I use alpha? It's also alpha. I said alpha is this, the smallest one, this here. Set angle SPR as alpha. SPR as alpha. Then this angle PSQ will be 90, take away alpha, right? Because they add up to 90, so you have to use 90, take away alpha to represent that. And guess, because this angle QSP equals to 90, take away alpha. So that means this angle over here, this one, it's also 90, take away alpha, am I right? because it's the base angle of triangle QPS as well. So let's see, how can I represent this top angle over here? This angle QPR equals to angle QPS to take away angle SPR. Guys, just check it. Is that correct? QPR equals to QPS take away SPR. And we know that QPS equals to angle S, which is 90 degrees, take away alpha, and then you have to take away this SPR, that is another alpha. So that means this QPR equals to 90 degrees, take away 2 alpha. So far, so good? Are we good, guys? Any questions do you have? So this one is 90 minus 2 alpha. All right. Now, guys, let's focus on this triangle. In triangle PQR, we know the top angle equals to this one, 90 minus 2 alpha. How can I get a base angle? How can I get angle R? You have to use 180, take away the top angle, which is 90 minus 2 alpha, right? Use 180, take away the top angle, and then divide it by 2 to get one of the base angle. So let's do divide by 2 over here. Okay, guys, tell me this angle PRQ equals to what? One of the base angle. 180, I think is most difficult question. Yes, kind of. 180 minus 90, but here, if you remove the bracket, take away that 2 alpha, will convert it into plus 2 alpha, right? So 180 minus 90 plus 2 alpha, and then divided by 2, you got 180, that will be 90 plus 2 alpha divided by 2. So you got 45 degrees plus 1 alpha. Are we good? Yes? Questions? So this one over here is 45. Take plus 1 alpha. Yep. Guys, you can tap 3 to me if you understand it, if you are with me. All right. Then let's see, last step. What is the last step? You want to get the sum of these two, right? And one of that is 90 minus, one of that is 90 minus alpha. Another is 45 plus alpha. Then what's the sum of that 2 angles, guys? Take away alpha plus alpha, alpha will be canceled out. Then 90 plus 45, you got what number? 135, so you choose D. 90 minus alpha plus 45, take away alpha, plus alpha, so you got 90 plus 45 equals to 135 degrees. Because these 2 will be canceled out. Okay, guys, are you ready to move on to the last question today? The correct rate for the previous question is 36%, and this one is also 36%, exactly the same. Let me read the question for you. A large square is divided into adjacent pairs of smaller squares with integer sides. So this is really, really important information. All the sides are integers. As shown in the diagram, each side of smaller square occurs only twice. The shaded square has sides of length 10. What is the area of the large square? So let me write down the information. The length of this shaded part is 10. Okay, guys, just remember, we get a lot of shapes and they got some relationship, right? We always choose the smallest one as the unknown, okay? And then use algebra to solve it. And you see in the very center, the smallest one is this 2, right? These 2 squares. Then I'm gonna set the length, the set length of each square as A. Okay, as A. And then you see that it is not enough if we use only one of the unknown, because for the second one, you got no idea. For the second large, I mean, this one, you cannot use A to represent the length of that, right? So that means at least we need to use 2 different unknowns here. As for the second large one, I mean second small. So let's say the set length of that is B. Okay. Now you can use AB to represent the length of next square. Guys, tell me, how can I represent the length of this square, of this green one? Yes, Mina?
You do A plus B. So the length of the next graph is equal to A plus B.
Is that A plus B? You see, is that A plus, it's not A plus B. It's not A plus B. You see here it's B and this is B, right? It's 2B. And to get the length of that green one, you have to use 2B.
A plus A, oh wait, no, B plus B minus A.
Yes, that's right. Okay, we got 2B, take away A. All right, and then this side over here will be 2B minus A as well. All right, and this is B. Guys, let's pay attention to this small face triangle square. The set length will be 2B minus A plus 2B minus A plus B. Am I right? Yep. So in total, the set length will be 5B minus 2A. 5B, because 2B plus A, 2B minus A, add 2B minus A, add 1 of B. So the set length of this small face square equals to 5B, take away 2A. And also, this is a small face square because they are the same. So the set length is 5B minus 2A as well. So here it's 1B, 1 and B. And you see this length, let me use another color for you. This length over here, this pink one equals to this side. What is the length of that? You need to double that 5B take away 2A, right? So that would be 10B take away 4A. Yep. And now if you take a look of this angry face, squares, 2 of their side lengths will be, I think someone is not muted. Okay, please get muted. So you see, this is 10, 10, right? And how can I represent the length of this 10, of this set length 10? So 2 of that will be this long, right? You get it? The orange side, this long. So what's the length of that? You got 10B minus 4A, and you have to plus this 2B over here. So the length of that will be 12B minus 4A equals to 20. Does it make sense? Guys, any questions do you have? Is it all clear so far? Yep. Okay, now you have to simplify this equation here. So 12, 4, and 20, we know we need to divide by 4 of each term. So you do 3b minus 1a equals to 5. Right? Now, the reason why I tell you that integer will be really important is that if a and b are not integer, you cannot solve this because you have only one equation of here and you have two unknowns, right? Okay, guys, can you tell me if they are integers, a equals to what and b equals to what? Is that possible? B equals to 1? Of course not, right? 3 minus anything, you cannot get 5. So at least b equals to 2. If you got 2, that will be 6, and 6 minus 1 give us 5. So a equals to 1. Will that meet the requirement? Yep. They're going to meet the requirement. B equals to 2 and a equals to 1. And we know that a is less than b, a is shorter than b. But actually, you can have b equals to 3, right? If b equals to 3, a equals to what number, guys? If b is 3, a equals to what? 3 times by 3 is 9. 9 minus 4 is 5. Can we use that, guys? Which one is longer? Which one is longer, guys? A or B? B must be longer than A, right? You see in this diagram. But here you got B is 3, A equals to 4, it's larger. So you cannot take that. And actually, if B equals to 4, can you tell me what is A? A equals to 7, right? And also B is larger than A, it's longer than A. So you see that as for this equation, you have only one correct set of answer. That will be B equals to 2 and A equals to 1. Okay, Mina, what's your question?
How did you get 12b equals 4a, and what is that for?
12b equals to 4a.
12b minus 4a.
Ah, you mean how can I get this equation, right? You want to get this? Okay. So guys, if you take a look at that two angry face squares, that two squares combine together to get a rectangle, am I right? It's a rectangle.
Yeah.
Yep. And the pink side is 10b minus 4a. Am I right?
Yep.
Okay. And then you have to add these two little sides to get the length of the rectangle, which is 20. So you do 10b minus 4a plus 2b. So that's why we got 12b minus 4a equals to 20. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So guys, we know b equals to 2, a equals to 1, and then you can solve the question. Okay, that's the key point here. Because b is 2, a is 1. So let's see. Let me use the black color. So the set length of this one will be 5 take away 2. 5 times by 2 take away 2. That will be 8. This is 8 and this is 8. So what is the length of this part of this one? So that'll be 2b minus 8. 2 times 2 is 4. Take away 1. You got a 3, right? And then what is the length of this square? What is the length of this square? So that will be 2b minus 2a, right? 2b minus 2a is the set length of this question mark square. So that will be, say, 4 take away, is that, let's see, it's 2b, which is, b is 2. Guys, what's the set length of the question mark square?
2.
Isn't it 2 times 2b minus a minus 2a?
Yes, that's right. So basically that will be, because the set length of this one, of this star one will be 2b minus a, right? So you have to use 2b minus a and then double that,
Yeah, so 2b.
and then take away 2a, right?
You wrote that wrong. I think it's 2b minus a.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you guys. It's 2b minus a. You are right. 2b minus a, then times by 2, and then take away 2a. That's it. So we got this 3 times by 2, you got 6, and then take away 2, that will be 4. All right, so this is 4, this is 4, because these two squares are the same. And now we need to see what is the length of this part. To get this, you have to go to, let me erase this. We have to go to take a look at this one first. So the length of this one then equals to 4 plus 4, right? 4 plus 4, take away 1, take away this a. So that the length of this one is 7, and this one is 7. So you got 7 and 7, and these two vertical direction, and this is 4. So we know that the 2 times this one, these two squares will be 7 plus 7 plus 4, which is 18, right? So then one side of that will be 9. Okay, guys, now you can get the set length of the largest of this large square. That is the sum of 9 and 4 and 4 and 3 and 8 and 8. Because if you move that up, that will be the length of the largest square. So we do 9 plus 4 plus 4 plus 3 plus 8 plus 8. Guys, tell me what you get. What is the set length of this square? 36, that's right. 36. So once you get 36, then the area will be 36 squared. So the area of this largest square equals to 1,296. So we choose D. Guys, that's it. That's the end of this JMC mock test geometry part. So have a nice day, have a nice night. Hope you enjoy this session. Okay.
Bye.
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 And also happy
Bye, Will.
festival.